The conference room aboard the Celestial Accord hummed with the subtle vibration of subspace engines. Ellis stood near the observation window, watching the swirl of hyperspace outside, trying to steady his nerves. 3 months into humanity's first diplomatic mission with the Valorian Confederacy, and he still felt like an imposter among the stars. "You seem troubled, Ambassador Ellis." He turned to find Ayla standing in the doorway. She wasn't human, that much was obvious from her luminescent violet skin, and the delicate bioluminescent patterns that traced along her temples and neck. The Valorians were stunning, ethereal beings that seemed more like living art than flesh and blood. Ayla served as the lead xenocultural liaison, and Ellis had spent countless hours with her, learning Valorian customs, protocols, and the intricate dance of interstellar diplomacy. "Just preparing for tomorrow's session," Ellis replied, managing a weak smile. "The trade negotiations are going to be intense." Ayla glided into the room. Valorians didn't quite walk like humans. There was an otherworldly grace to their movement that defied Earth's understanding of biomechanics. She stopped beside him, close enough that he could see the subtle shimmer of her skin, like mother of pearl under shifting light. "You're lying," she said softly, but there was amusement in her voice, not accusation. "In my culture, we can sense emotional frequencies. Your anxiety isn't about trade agreements." Ellis felt heat rise to his face. He'd been warned that Valorians possessed empathic abilities, but experiencing it firsthand was still disconcerting. "I suppose there's no hiding anything from you." "Not much," Ayla admitted. She turned toward the window, standing shoulder to shoulder with him. "But I've noticed humans try anyway. It's endearing, really. You work so hard to maintain these facades." "It's called professionalism," Ellis said, a bit defensively. "Is it professional to stare?" Ayla asked, and when Ellis whipped his head toward her, she was smiling, not mocking, but genuinely amused. "I've noticed, Ambassador, during our sessions, during the formal dinners, even now." Ellis wanted the floor to open up and swallow him whole. "I apologize if I've been inappropriate. I never meant." "Why do you apologize for appreciation?" Ayla interrupted. She studied him with those enormous amber eyes that seemed to hold entire galaxies. "When the Confederacy first made contact with humanity, we wondered if you would find us repulsive. Alien, too different from your baseline biology." "Repulsive?" Ellis couldn't help the laugh that escaped. "Ayla, your people are. You're beautiful. All of you. Like nothing we've ever imagined. And yet, you tried to hide it." Ayla tilted her head, genuinely curious. "You've been attracted to me for weeks. I've felt it in your emotional resonance every time we're together. But you've said nothing, acted on nothing. Why?" Ellis ran a hand through his hair, a nervous habit he'd never quite broken. "Because I'm here to represent humanity. Because this mission is too important to complicate with personal feelings. Because crossing that line could jeopardize everything we're trying to build." Ayla said, and something like understanding crossed her features. "You bear the weight of your entire species on your shoulders. Someone has to," Ellis said quietly. Ayla was silent for a moment. Then she did something unexpected. She laughed. It was a musical sound, like wind chimes in a summer breeze. "Do you know what the Confederacy's greatest concern was about humanity?" Ellis shook his head. "We thought you would be cold, clinical. Your technology advanced so rapidly. We assumed you'd sacrificed emotion for efficiency, as so many species do. We expected calculating machines in biological shells." She turned to face him fully. "But you're not that at all, are you? You feel everything so intensely. You carry guilt for things beyond your control. You sacrifice your own happiness for abstract concepts like duty and responsibility. Is that bad?" Ellis asked. "It's remarkable," Ayla said softly. "Ellis, may I share something with you? In Valorian culture, attraction isn't something to be hidden or ashamed of. It's a form of honesty. When I tell you that I've noticed your appreciation, when I acknowledge that I've grown fond of you as well, this isn't meant to embarrass you. It's meant to honor what exists between us." Ellis's heart hammered against his ribs. You feel the same?" "Humans," Ayla said with gentle exasperation. "So brilliant in some ways, so obtuse in others." "Yes, Ambassador. I find you fascinating. Your passion for your work, your genuine care for cross-cultural understanding, the way you agonize over every decision Because you want to do right by everyone. She paused. And yes, I find your physical form appealing. You're quite attractive by both your standards and mine. I don't know what to say. Ellis admitted. Then perhaps don't say anything yet, Ayla suggested. She reached out slowly, giving him time to pull away if he wished. Anne placed her hand over his. Her skin was warm, warmer than he'd expected, and where they touched, he felt a gentle tingle, like a mild electrical current. The Confederacy isn't looking for perfect diplomats, Alice. They're looking for authentic ones. They want to know who humanity really is. And you, with all your complicated feelings and moral wrestling, you're a beautiful representation of your species, even when those feelings are unprofessional. Ellis asked. Especially then, Ayla said. Because you feel them and choose to honor your commitments anyway. That's integrity. That's strength. She squeezed his hand gently. But perhaps there's room for both duty and personal truth. Perhaps acknowledging what we feel doesn't have to undermine the mission. Ellis looked down at their joined hands, human and Valorian. So different and yet fitting together naturally. In my culture, we have a saying, don't mix business with pleasure. And in mine, we believe that denying authentic connection creates discord in the soul, Ayla countered. Perhaps our peoples can learn from each other? Ellis met her eyes and saw no judgment there. No manipulation, only honest regard and something that might have been hope. It struck him then that this moment, this conversation, was diplomacy in its truest form. Not treaties and trade agreements, but to beings from different worlds finding common ground in the simple, universal experience of mutual attraction and respect. I'd like that, Ellis said finally. To learn from each other. Ayla's smile could have lit the room. Good, then let's start with honesty. You appreciated my form, Ellis. You found me beautiful. There's no shame in that. In fact, I'm honored by it. You're making this sound so simple, Ellis said. But he was smiling now too. Perhaps it is, Ayla replied. Perhaps humans overcomplicate things. You're allowed to be both a diplomat and a person with feelings. Both can be true. Outside the window, hyperspace continued its cosmic dance. Inside the conference room, two representatives of distant worlds stood hand in hand, bridging the vast gulf between species with something as fundamental and powerful as human nature itself, the courage to be vulnerable, to admit attraction, to seek connection despite every logical reason not to. Tomorrow's negotiations, Ellis said after a moment. They're still going to be challenging, undoubtedly, Ayla agreed. But tonight, we're just Ayla and Ellis, to people who find each other interesting. Is that acceptable? Ellis squeezed her hand in return. More than acceptable, and for the first time since leaving Earth. Ambassador Ellis felt like maybe, just maybe, humanity's greatest strength wasn't their technology or their ambition. It was their ability to remain beautifully, vulnerably human, even among the stars.